Joining me today is Charlene Lovett, who's a councilwoman in the Claremont City Council. And Charlene, you work with the rail committee, the train committee. What's the technical?
Yes, last year in July, the City Council formed an ad hoc committee. We call it the ad hoc committee for the Amtrak train station.
Okay, and I was thinking rail, but Amtrak,
yep,
okay.
Yep. And I chair that committee. It's a member of 5 people, including myself. There are 2 other city councilors, a state representative, and a rail train enthusiast from the community. So
what's the purpose of that committee? What's its focus, its mission?
Well, it all came out of a discussion that we had at the city council level when we were being briefed by members of planning and development about Claremont's work to be part of the NERI discussions, and NERI stands for Northern New England Intercity Rail Initiative. And that's something that's coming in the future, high-speed rail travel. If it does come to fruition, it's about 15 to 20 years out.
So you all really have to take a long run look. I mean, what, 20 years?
Well, that was for the NERI project.
Okay.
So we were being briefed on that. And in the course of that discussion, we talked about the fact, well, that's in the future, and it's important that we are part of those discussions. But we have a train stop here today, and the Vermonter train line goes through that. So what are we doing to leverage that asset as part of our economic development plan? It's been established since, I believe, the 1980s. And if you look at it, there's really not much to the train stop platform to motivate people to choose rail travel as a mode of transportation, or be welcoming. I mean, there are all sorts of case studies around the nation where municipalities have leveraged their train station, train platform to be part of their economic development package. So that's where we started our work, was looking at what we have currently today, what can we do to enhance it, what are the barriers to people using the train stop, and how do we fix those and remove those barriers to promote ridership, promote economic development as far as tourism in the area, because we're unique. In Claremont, we're the only train stop for Amtrak on the western side of the state.
So I want to go back to the case studies. Mm-hmm. And I'm really interested in what you learned from those case studies that you believe you can bring to Claremont.
The most powerful theme in all of the case studies I've read is the communities with the most successful train stops or train stations, depending on the construction of their site, mm-hmm. is when a community takes ownership of that stop and really incorporates it into the fabric of their economic development plan. And we had some real issues going into this as far as the train stop is on the outskirts of the town. It's not in the town center.
It's not easy to find.
Nope, wasn't easy to find.
As somebody who doesn't live in Claremont, driven in, mm-hmm. and I'm thinking, I know that train stop somewhere.
Right.
But I've tried to figure it out, and I said, okay, well, since I'm not trying to catch a train, I'll pass.
Right.
It isn't easy to find.
No, it's not. And so when we did our investigation in our exploratory phase, the committee looked at what are the things that we need to address. And there were basically 10 items. But we wanted to pick the top 3 so we could get some real change done in the short term. And the top 3 priorities were public safety and comfort, passenger safety and comfort, bus transportation or transportation in general, and signage. To address exactly what you said, how do you get there? Where is it? And you'd be surprised to find out there's some people in the community who don't even know we have a train stop. So we went through the process of working with Amtrak. We got free signage, and then we worked with our Department of Public Works and got the signs installed. So you see them all over the community now.
Now, as I drove in today to work, I noticed mm-hmm. there was the sign, mm-hmm. so I knew at least where I should make my first turn. And speaking of turns, where